Today we're going to talk about cloud-based computing and desktop virtualization. So what is cloud-based computing? Any service that can be provided remotely can be considered to be cloud computing. If you are currently backing up online, or you have an online software package that does your accounting, you're probably familiar with this concept. What you might not be aware of is that many IT services, including the entire IT infrastructure, are increasingly being deployed with great advantage via cloud computing. So many businesses now are looking at transitioning their IT hardware and software requirements into the cloud. And this is particularly true for businesses that have multiple locations, or they're managing multiple servers. Maybe they're considering a complete technology upgrade, or maybe they're having trouble running apps on their current system. They're having trouble keeping up with the technology, and in particular, many businesses with limited IT resources are looking at this approach. Many companies have an IT staff, and that staff is stretched to the limit, and this allows them to free up their time for more strategic projects. So some very compelling reasons to consider this approach, and one is that it can be much lower cost, up to 70% lower in terms of total cost of ownership. You have a much faster ROI on your investment. You have greatly reduced the hardware requirements for your system. You've got built-in disaster recovery. You can do, one of the big advantages, you can do instant software updates across the enterprise. You don't have to do it by device. And also, we've got a lot of businesses these days that are committed to going green, and cloud-based computing certainly does help you do this. So in the traditional desktop environment, each employee has their own computer, sometimes laptops, sometimes mobile devices as well, all of which need to be maintained by the IT staff. In addition, there are site-based servers which house the operating system, all the data, all the applications that are used in the company. Very often this needs to be monitored and maintained on a 7/24 basis. And again, all upgrades have to be deployed on a one-on-one basis instead of across the enterprise. So there's some real challenges to this current environment, where it's very difficult to secure, maintain, and upgrade remote sites. Many new applications require more computing power, which makes the obsolescence terms on a lot of your computer equipment shorter and shorter. Employee productivity is tied to computers, which can fail, and then you've got productivity issues. And the in-house management of IT resources can be a real nightmare on top of it. I mean, there are hard drives, memory, processors, networking cards, motherboards. Each device has their own points of failure, which need to be upgraded within the network. And it's currently estimated that about 70% of the total cost of ownership of in-house desktop computing is in the desk side support for those devices. So there is an alternative increasingly to this, and that is desktop virtualization, basically moving your entire IT infrastructure, hardware and software, into the cloud. It's estimated that this can save you up to 70% on the cost of your IT infrastructure, simply by the remotely troubleshooting problems, the ease of deployment of this approach, and also you save a lot of money by extending the life of your older equipment, because your equipment doesn't need to be so robust on site. The brain power is really in the cloud. Another benefit is that employees can gain access to their desktop from any device, from laptop, their desktop, even their home-based equipment, and you can do this in a secured environment. A lot of times businesses are concerned about security when it comes to cloud computing, but actually the security of cloud-based approach in many cases is actually greater than you can deploy on site. And you can provide end-to-end company-wide security across all devices with a cloud-based approach. Again, as I mentioned, upgrades can be done in a centralized way across the network. So it makes the scalability of this approach really excellent. And you can also add new employees and also turn off employees very easily from centralized administration for all locations with this approach. So if your company is thinking about cloud-based computing and you want to discuss it a little bit more, what are your options? Single Source Telecom manages services for a number of companies that offer virtualized desktop services. We'll be more than happy to discuss your project and point you in the right direction. We are paid by our carrier partners to assist you, so there will never be a charge from Single Source Telecom to assist you. So please give us a call today. We can be reached at 877-577-1954 or visit our website at singlesourcetelecom.com.